Hello, my friends. Hello. Today is Thursday, August 15th of 2024, and welcome. Welcome, and thank you so much for choosing to spend your trial coverage of the Robert Telley's trial with me. I know there are lots of places where you can choose to watch your trial coverage, and I am truly honored and humbled that you choose to spend your time with me. Hello to the Netherlands, Hannelore Williams. We are worldwide, my friends. We are worldwide. You guys are a worldwide sensation, and people all over the world want to come and join you in the chat. Good morning. Nosy Rosie, I saw you sent me an email. Haven't had a chance to look at it yet because I was getting ready for the show, but I'll take a look at it later. If there's new motions that have been filed, I will certainly look at them, certainly make time to go over them together. Still waiting for the decision on Karen Reed, which has not, to my knowledge, been dropped yet, because I know that I'll probably have it before her attorneys have it, because one of you will shoot it over to me, and maybe it'll get here before they even get it. Who knows? But we're here for all of it. We're here for all of it. There have been some arrests in the Matthew Perry death, which is very sad. And yet it's a good thing that people have been held responsible for what happened to Matthew Perry, because we love Matthew Perry. I did a whole show on him. And the perils of loving an alcoholic and an addict. If you haven't seen that, it's an older show that we did right around Matthew Perry's death. And YouTube didn't like it. They demonetized it right away, despite several appeals. Because, in their weird YouTube algorithm, I was somehow promoting addiction. So it was a great show. Meredith did it with me. She's a therapist. She has her own YouTube channel. It's called Mend with Mare. And she does a lot of reaction videos to music videos. And she's amazing. We did a whole show on it, and it was heartfelt and it was sad. And it was a great, great show. But, YouTube didn't like it. But I don't care, because I'm here to talk about the tough topics with you, because these are things that need to be talked about. Just like DV, just like the Ashley Benefield case. These are things that need to be talked about, that our kids need to know about, that the next generation needs to be aware of, needs to be looking out for. And so I'm here for it with you. And I know I have so many survivors and victims in this chat. So Jilly Bean just got caught up on day one. There's another story that I want to share with you, because it's really, really, really important. And luckily, I have a solution for you. But here's the story out of the New York Post this morning, because, as you know, that's where I get all my news. I just have to share it and then move it. Hackers may have stolen your Social Security number. There's a major, major hack that just happened. And apparently, sensitive personal data belonging to every American, including their Social Security number, address, date of birth, and phone number, was stolen online by hackers who have put the information up for sale on the dark web. And apparently there's a cyber criminal group that is behind this, and it is a huge problem. We've talked about data breaches before with AT&T Wireless, and every AT&T Wireless customer pretty much was a victim of that. And this is a database which the group has offered for sale at $3.5 million. It's said to contain the personal data of nearly 3 billion people living in the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada, according to a federal lawsuit on August 1st. So it's out there. Your stuff is out there. But luckily, my friends, my sponsor is here to help you. And it's coincidental, because I've had this sponsor for a long time. And yet, and before these breaches started happening, I've had this sponsor of this show for this exact reason, because sometimes the shows get demonetized. And that way we have a sponsor and we don't need to worry about it. But this time I really need to show this to you, because did you know that the odds of falling victim, I recorded this a long time ago, as you can see from my roots. I want you to watch this. You can get a free 2-week trial of this product with my code. But you all need to protect yourselves. Don't worry. After this plays, we'll go straight to court. Their sound isn't up yet on Law and Crime, but take a listen. Did you know that the odds of falling victim to online crime are 1 in 4? Online crime is soaring. It's time to get smart about online safety. That's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura provides everything you need to protect your privacy, identity, finances, and your family in one easy-to-use app. Do you even realize how much of your personal information is already out there, being sold by data brokers to scammers, spammers, and anyone else who may want to target you? Well, if you Google yourself, you may find something like this. And it may shock you to know that your full name, home address, email address, health records, and even relatives, it's all out there. That's one of the reasons you need Aura. Aura shows you which data brokers are selling your information and automatically submits opt-out requests on your behalf. Not only does cleaning up this information reduce the amount of spam that you get, but it will protect you from hackers who could use the information to help them access your social media accounts, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. Aura also helps protect me and my family from online threats by providing antivirus and malware protection, a secure VPN with military-grade encryption, credit monitoring, spam call protection, parental controls, password management, identity theft insurance, and more, without having to download several different apps. It's really easy to set up. And best of all, I get everything at one affordable price. With the family plan, Aura will help you protect your kids by blocking harmful content, managing how much time they can spend online, and providing you with peace of mind while they game with cyberbullying and online predator threat alerts. I value my privacy and my online safety, and I value yours too. So go to aura.com/Melanie Little to start your 2-week free trial, because you can't put a price on peace of mind. I've also put the link in the video description below. You can thank me later. You can thank me later. Because if you know anyone who's ever had their identity stolen, it is a major, major hassle, and it will take forever to fix it. And your credit can be shot forever. And it's really, really, really a mess. I know, because it's happened to people that I know. And I'm here to help. So thank you. Everyone pretty much was affected by that horrific data breach. And you can thank me later. How's everyone doing this morning? They're still not in court. We're going to try the best we can with the volume today. Yesterday was not great. I don't know why they can't give the attorneys lav mics to put on their lapel. They put a little thing in their back pocket and they have sound. It's an amazing invention that's been around for quite some time. And that would be so great if they would just do that for us. But alas, I don't know who the pool photographer is, if it's Law and Crime or Court TV, but maybe we could step up the sound game a little bit. Maybe if enough of you write emails to them, they'll do it for us, because we know we like to watch trials and the sound is terrible. Lori Life 360 for the win. Thank you for loving me and this channel and for being a member for 4 months. I'm always a very generous benefactor. Thank you, Melly, for being a member for 2 months and for adoring me. And I do amazing things. Thank you. Love to everyone in this chat. And Melly is awesome. Melly's amazing. Iceman, they probably fear hot mics, so no lapel mics, sadly. I don't, maybe that's why. Maybe they don't want to bust in on attorney-client privilege, but maybe they could at least put a mic. All right, so how about they put like a little sticky mic, like a little one of those magnetic ones, just like at the podium. That could help. That'd be a good idea, right? Something, especially in Vegas. That's right, Mary. They have great sound choices. I've been to the Sphere and it was awesome. There was just something in the news last night about the Sphere being too loud and the neighbors weren't happy. And so they agreed to some terms, like they can only go until midnight and they can only go up to a certain number of decibels. And what an amazing place that is. If you ever have the opportunity to go to the Sphere in Vegas, do it. I know, SNS. I dream such sweet dreams of clear audio in court. That's it. I'm just trying to help you guys. That's all I'm trying to do. Little white lie is hopeful for better sound, and we're thinking about it. We're hoping. Look, podium mics. What a concept, right? Because listen, when I go to court, like to see the Long Island serial killer, because that's like in my backyard. There's these little magnetic mics that you can take, that you can hook up like through Bluetooth to your cell phone, and you can put them up there with all of the big mics from the all the big channels that have their mics up there, and you can get great sound. Like, it's not even expensive to do or hard to do. And it would make such a great, I don't know, where do you want me to move the captions to? I'm not a cupcake, Kelly. I can't please everybody. So I try and move them so they're out of the way of the comments. I don't know where I can move them that they're not going to be, that somebody's not going to be bothered by them. But if you have any suggestions, I'm happy to listen to them. Robbie Ropes is shocked and horrified, but I also can't stop laughing while watching the Telly's Shuffle. The Telly's Shuffle! The Telly's Shuffle, that's what we can call it. For the members, we have some amazing new emojis for this trial. We've got the boss baby emoji. Let's put some of those in the chat, members. We've got the giant straw hat emoji. We've got the WD-40 for the very squeaky door in the courtroom. We've got boarding passes for any trolls that come into the chat that need to be escorted out onto their flight to Troll Island. And we have some from the Karen Reed trial that might be very apropos for what we're watching, like the sigh emoji, the shovel for when people are digging themselves in or out of trouble. We've got the salad for the word salad. We've got lies, 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 yeah, by the Thompson twins. We've got a troll. We've got a sigh, I think I said. We got some Twilight Zone emojis. And I'm here for you. We've got nope. Nope. We have a wow. We've got a Dave Matthews fire dancer. We've got some Grateful Dead emojis and a fan. But we don't get the fan in this trial. We're just getting the seal for the great state of Nevada. Hello, Albert's Bulkhead Tours. Good morning. Well, it's afternoon here on the East Coast. It's afternoon. And we're waiting for Law and Crime. Subtitles are on. We're going to have to move them for everyone's personal preference and taste. Ay, oy vey. It's like oy vey. I'm not a cupcake. I'm not a cupcake. And it's already been a day. I have heard the news about Matthew Perry. I was just talking about that. So, I'll pull up that story and we can talk about that while we're waiting for court to start. Multiple arrests have been made in Matthew Perry's OD death, including a doctor after a police probe. At least one doctor and several dealers have reportedly been arrested in connection with Matthew Perry's death. Where's the rest of the story? See, it's already been a day. It's already been a day. That story, I guess, was developing at the time, but okay, so where's the rest of it? New York Post. Okay, here it is. 5 people, including Matthew Perry's personal assistant and an alleged drug dealer known as the K Queen. If you watch the Maya trial with me, you know what K is. I'm not going to say it here. It's special K. YouTube does not like that word. I did a whole show on K as a relief for pain treatments and also PTSD, addiction, with Dr. Kave, who has an amazing YouTube channel called Medical Secrets. We did a whole show on K therapy during the Maya Kowalski trial. So in any event, there was an alleged drug dealer known as the K Queen of Los Angeles, who was Matthew Perry's, oh no, okay, wait. So 5 people, I'm gonna start from the top. Ready? Back to 1. 5 people, including Matthew Perry's personal assistant and an alleged drug dealer known as the K Queen of Los Angeles, have been arrested in connection to the Friends star's overdose death last fall, prosecutors announced today. Perry's live-in assistant, Kenneth Iwamasa, 59, Dr. Mark Chavez, 54, and Dr. Salvador Plasenia, 42, are all facing a slew of federal charges, including conspiracy to distribute K, the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Central District of California said. Authorities also charged alleged street dealer Eric Fleming, 54, and Jasveen Sangha, 41, an alleged drug dealer prosecutors claim was known as the K Queen of Los Angeles in connection with Perry's death. These defendants took advantage of Mr. Perry's addiction issues to enrich themselves. They knew what they were doing was wrong, U.S. Attorney Martin Estrada said at a press conference announcing the charges today. Perry, 54, was found floating face down in the hot tub at his Pacific Palisades home by Iwamasa on October 28th of 2023. He was declared dead by the paramedics called to the scene. News of the possible arrests was first reported by TMZ, which suggested that the suspects included at least one physician and several drug dealers. Perry's cause of death was attributed to the acute effects of the anesthetic K. At the time of his death, the actor had about 3.54 milligrams per milliliter of K in his bloodstream, which is nearly 3 times the normal amount. Perry, who was open about his struggle with mental illness and addiction, was undergoing K therapy for depression, but he had last been treated over a week before he died, according to the autopsy reports, right? I think he was getting infusions similar to what Dr. Cave does at his clinic I believe his clinic's in San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of you guys watch Dr. Cave, right? He's amazing. Back to the article, it says the drug in Perry's system could not have been from his treatment because K's half-life is only 3 to 4 hours, the coroner said. Perry was seeking treatment for his mental health struggles when he fell back into active drug addiction last year, DEA Administrator Ann Milgram said today. When the physicians at the clinic he was being treated at refused to increase his K injections, I guess he was getting injections, not infusions, Perry allegedly sought out Dr. Plasencia, Milgram explained. Plasencia asked his colleague, Dr. Chavez, for help securing the flow of drugs for his high-profile client. She continued, instead of do no harm, they did harm so they could make more money, Milgram said of the 2 doctors who were both arrested on Thursday. Between September 23 and his death on October 28th, Plasencia and Chavez allegedly supplied Perry with about 20 vials of K in exchange for around $55,000 in cash. On September 30th, Plasencia texted Chavez how much, quote, this moron, end quote, referring to Perry, would be willing to pay for the drug, according to the indictment. He also expressed a desire to become Perry's go-to for drugs, Estrada said. This is crazy. When the drug supply from doctors became too expensive, Perry resorted to going through street dealer Eric Fleming, who allegedly sourced his supply from Senga, the K Queen. And it goes on. And the sound is up in court right now, so this is horrible.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Please come to order. Court is now in session.
Okay, good morning. Does the state stipulate to the presence of the panel?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is Detective Mogg here?
He's outside.
All right, I'll start so we can bring the witness back in and Mr. Draskovich can begin his cross-examination. Yeah.
Detective Mogg is still on the stand. New York Post is my news source. I love the New York Post. Alan Shapiro, do not diss my New York Post.
Oh, that makes, okay. That one's still.
Quick,
Okay.
easy. Can we hear the judge? All right, thank you. Thanks, little cupcake. Please hit the like button. It helps the algorithm. Yesterday, we heard from 8 witnesses. This is still witness number 8, Detective Clifford Mogg of the Las Vegas Metro PD.
Mr. Mogg, we're going to re-swear you in, okay? You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may be seated. Please state and spell your first and last name for the record.
Clifford, C-L-I-F-F-O-R-D, Mogg, M-O-G-G.
Thank you. Good morning, Detective Mogg.
Morning, Mr. Draskovich.
And we'll stop right there. It's obviously not detective. I know old habits die hard. You've since retired, now you're a private investigator.
I'm not a private investigator. I'm a
Private
consultant.
consultant.
Correct.
Fair. All right. Turning your attention to your testimony at the end of yesterday, the locations of interest, and this was your slide that I'm referring to. I believe it's slide 7. You were primarily focused on this 5.3 mile trip, give or take, between Mr. Garman's residence and the residence belonging to Mr. Tellis, correct?
That's an approximation.
Okay. How many neighborhoods or designated neighborhoods are within, just along this route, this 5.3 mile distance?
Numerous.
Fair to say hundreds.
I wouldn't know if it was hundreds, but yes.
You had given testimony towards the end of the day yesterday that you had driven through Mr. Tellis's neighborhood, correct?
I did.
Looking for another Denali?
Examining the area, looking for vehicles, correct.
And what other vehicles would you be looking for other than a red Denali?
We were advised that Mr. Tejas also had 2 other vehicles. I believe one is a BMW, the other one was a Tesla. And so we drove the area. I believe at the time that I drove through, I can't recall if both the BMW, the Tesla, and the Tahoe were at his residence or not, but those were the vehicles we knew that he had access to.
Okay, just to point out, in case you're confused, this witness, Clifford Mogg, who was a detective and is now no longer, and the defense attorney made sure to point that out. First of all, Law and Crime, if you're not watching and you're just listening, has a split screen today, which is pretty awesome because we can see the witness and the attorney who's questioning the witness at the same time. So yay, Law and Crime. Props to the camera person today. This former detective, I'm just going to call him detective, is referring to Tellis by the Spanish pronunciation of his name, which is Tejas because of the double L, but he pronounces it Tellis. Everyone else pronounces it Tellis. So just don't get confused when he says Tejas. That's who he's talking about. The defendant, the boss baby, the mega mind, Rob Tellis. Moving on.
Okay, and in reference to this 5.3 mile route, which you had reviewed approximately 20 cameras on, did you review that route for the BMW?
No, we did not.
Did you review that route for the Tesla?
We did not.
So then back to Mr. Tellis's neighborhood, you'd agree with me that when you drove through Mr. Tellis's neighborhood, you were looking for a red Denali similar to his?
I was looking for all the vehicles that were registered to him.
Approximately how many houses were in his specific neighborhood?
Oh, rough guess, maybe 100-ish. It's kind of a looped neighborhood.
Do you recall the name of the neighborhood?
I do not.
Do you recall the subdivision to which this neighborhood belonged?
I can't recall off the top of my head the name of the subdivision.
Do you recall whether or not it was in, let's say, Lake Las Vegas, Piccoli Ranch, Summerlin?
I believe it might have been Piccoli Ranch area. That's what's right there on Charleston.
Are you aware of what, or any HOAs that had jurisdiction, assuming there was, over this neighborhood?
I'm not.
You had given testimony concerning, and I'll flip through so we can all see. It's your slide 15.
Yes, he was a detective on the case, Olyinka. He's now
9:10.
retired.
And you had given testimony yesterday at about 4:12 p.m. that you had seen this red Denali entering this area near where Mr. Tellis lived, correct?
At Approximately 9:10 in the morning, that's correct.
And just so we're clear, at 9:10 from this camera that it was 9601 Red Hills Drive, basically the Piggott Elementary School, you saw the Denali arriving in the neighborhood, not specifically to Mr. Tellis's house, but the area, correct?
It drove into the neighborhood where Mr. Tellez lives.
And he was arriving, assuming, and that's again too, we don't know who was driving, do we?
That's correct.
Throughout your testimony yesterday, you repeatedly said he, the driver, he. We don't know, all things being you, whether it was a he or a she, do we?
I'm fairly confident it was a male.
Okay, but you didn't know. You don't know. You can't testify today whether it was a male or a female, can you?
Not positively.
But back to this arrival, whoever's driving this Denali at 9:10:18 DVR time on September 2nd, 2022, do you know where that Denali was arriving from or where its place of origin is from?
Well, I looked at phone records from Mr. Tellez, and I know that earlier in the morning, previous to 9:10, he was down in the area of, I believe it was Desert Inn and Durango. There's a school down there in that neighborhood.
Okay. But again, not based upon any captures from any ring cams, school cams, gas station cams. That's based upon his cell phone data, correct?
That's correct. The camera at his residence did not record, and there wasn't anything on the ring camera of evidentiary value.
And we'll get to that. But just so we're clear, though, as far as where this vehicle was, we don't know, do we? We have no records concerning that red Denali prior to 9:10 a.m.
That's correct.
We don't know the location of this red Denali on September 1st, the day before, do we?
I do not.
And we don't know the location of this red Denali following, let's say, 9/3, do we?
I believe there were surveillance units set up on that vehicle at some point after 9/2, but I don't recall the exact date.
Let me ask you this. Are you aware of Mr. Tellis being under surveillance prior to this date in question, September 2nd, 2022?
No.
At this point in time, you worked with the homicide unit?
That's correct.
So you were unaware of what other involvement, if any other units may have had concerning details concerning Mr. Tellis?
I know there were other units in the Metropolitan Police Department that were involved in an investigation concerning Mr. Tellez, but I don't know the details concerning that investigation.
Are you aware of a surveillance detail that had been focused on Mr. Tellis on the days preceding this killing of Mr. Guerin?
I am not.
Are you aware that he was subject to surveillance on the day of this killing of Mr. Guerin?
I am not.
The next slide I'd like you to turn your attention to is, so let's see. We'll go here. It's at 9:12. This is where you discussed roughly the same time Mr. Guerin is leaving the taco shop. Again, you'd said that the time was wrong in this, correct?
That's correct. The clock time on the DVR is wrong. I believe this is, I'd have to go back and look at the previous slide, but probably somewhere around 9:14 in the morning.
Okay, and you were shown a receipt
But was it inverted? That is the question.
by Mr. Hamner concerning a receipt.
I don't think I was shown a receipt.
Okay, was there any discussion with you and Mr. Hamner concerning your receipt from Roberto's Taco Shop on the morning in question?
No, I know that one existed. That's how we ended up going there. That was found during a search of Mr. Gurman's residence. And so that's one of the reasons that we went to the taco shop, is to follow up on the time of that receipt. And I believe, if memory serves me correctly, the time on the receipt was about 9:04.
And are you aware of that receipt and the timestamp on the receipt being accurate, or is it just an assumption that it was?
Based on the adjusted time on the DVR, I think the time was pretty accurate, but I can't testify that it absolutely was accurate.
All right. Now moving on. This is a 9/12/32. This is from the same 906 Red Hills Drive, the Piggott Elementary, correct?
Yes, sir.
And your testimony yesterday was at this time we see this Denali leaving this area, correct?
Yes, sir.
But just so we're clear, the last point of either seeing this vehicle arriving or leaving, this is about as close as we get to the Telus residence, correct?
It is.
But still, we have a distance, don't we? I mean, it's not right around the corner, but I mean, there's a distance between this camera and Mr. Tellus's home.
Where I lose track of the Denali as it heads north, it's right around the corner from Mr. Teos's residence.
And, you know, since we're on the subject, I'll just address this right now. This surveillance camera, the Ring camera, Mr. Tellus's home, security cameras. It's your testimony that you could not find any video from that day, correct?
That's correct. If any video would have been recovered, it would have been provided to me so that I could have used it in my PowerPoint. I know that detectives at the scene who were executing the search warrant there, in addition to myself, requested that our digital forensics lab come out and examine the DVR. I don't know what the results of that examination are.
So you're not able to give testimony whether it's cloud-based or not?
I am not.
You're not aware of whether the passcode had been given to it and followed through?
All I know is that the digital forensics detectives came out, and they're the ones that examined the system.
So they would know in reference to that system versus you, fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Jennifer Ellis.
And you're not aware of when any security system may have been installed, whether it was the day before on the Telus residence, are you?
I am not.
Are you aware of any other neighbors of Mr. Telus who had been spoken to concerning their Ring cameras or their security systems that could have gotten you closer to the Telus home?
I am aware that other detectives canvassed the area for surveillance video, and I don't believe we were able to locate any.
But you can't say for certain, can you?
Well, I can say that if video would have been recovered, it would have been given to me to be used as part of the PowerPoint that I created.
But again, and just so we're clear, and if I may approach this screen, I mean, we've got the Piggott Elementary School here. That's where the green pen is, correct?
Yes, sir.
And we have the Telus home up here, a ways away on the other side of Spanish Steps, correct?
Correct.
So you said it was right around the corner, but it's actually really not. You'd have to leave Piggott Elementary School, come over here on Red Hills, drive up Red Hills, Silk Tassel, hit Spanish Steps. And from this picture, we can't really see, but we don't really have the entrance to Mr. Tellus's neighborhood captured, do we?
So where I lose track of the Denali is about 6 houses south of the intersection, and then right around the corner to Mr. Teos's residence.
Would you agree with me, just based upon this capture, and this presumably is from a satellite?
The picture of this?
Yes.
Yes, it's Google Earth.
We've got quite a few homes. We've got that Silk Tassel Drive. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on one side, 6 on the other. Then we have Spanish Steps. We have homes on each side. There's a lot of homes there, isn't there, that could have security cameras?
There were, but not every home has security cameras. And just because you have a camera doesn't mean that it captures anything.
Kind of like in the instance of Mr. Tellus's home, just because the camera, that doesn't mean anything was captured, correct?
That's correct.
But fair to say, we do have several homes between this Piggott vantage point and the Tellus home.
There are several, yes.
Thanks, Rick. Tell your friends. Your new trial go-to. I'm flattered.
You had given testimony concerning seeing a red Denali drive by from a certain vantage point, and you weren't able to see whether or not it had a plate, correct?
That's correct.
Do you recall which capture you were referring to?
I believe that was from 1405 Wintergreen, and there was no plate visible on the back of the truck at the time that it drove northbound on Wintergreen.
And what time was that?
I don't recall off the top of my head.
Would referring to your notes or your slide preparation refresh your recollection?
If you want to back out of this and go to the PowerPoint itself, and then I have to scroll down to the slides.
Okay, I'll do this. We'll go through it together.
So it's that angle.
Right here?
No, not this, but it's this angle from 1405 Wintergreen.
Not that one?
No, sir.
They're not showing us the exhibits in case you're not listening or watching. Wintergreen is a superior mint, I just want to say. Big fan.
Mr. Gehrman, let's see.
It's my favorite Altoids flavor, wintergreen.
And since we're here in the interest of time, let's address this. You were asked, did something jump out at you? Recall that line of questioning yesterday?
Correct.
And you were shown this and State's Exhibit 317, Mr. Hamner had shown this to the jury, correct?
Yes.
We have a visor down in the summertime on a vehicle, correct?
We have a
That's
visor down. Visor down.
And you'd said there was something telling, something very characteristic about this capture, correct?
There's one of them, yes.
And we'll get to the other matters, but you said something here on the front just showed you that this must be the same vehicle or similar to the vehicle, correct?
It stood out to me as something that was similar on both the suspect's vehicle and on Mr. Tejas' vehicle.
And if I can show you what's been admitted and shown, published, State's Exhibit 317.
Yes,
Let me approach, this was it, correct?
that's correct.
And you said in your testimonies that there's something here that matches something there concerning this light color area?
Correct. It's just something that drew my attention on both vehicles. And it's a faded area on the plastic of the left front of the Denali.
But then again, this faded area, the sun's reflecting off of it, isn't it?
I don't believe the sun was reflecting off of that.
I would submit that the exhibit will speak for itself. If I told you that it is, do you have any reason to disagree with me?
That the sun is reflecting off of that,
Yes.
I would.
Okay, well, obviously, too,
Wasn't expecting that. He wasn't expecting that answer.
the ultimate determiners of fact to determine that. There was other testimony concerning things jumping out at you. The rims on the Denali.
Correct.
These are stock rims, aren't they?
They are.
The tinting in the front, lighter tinting in the front, darker tinting in the back. Something else?
That's correct. When you take everything into consideration.
But that's a standard feature, is it not? The front windows are generally not tinted and the backs are.
That's not true.
Have you done research concerning the 2007 Denali?
I've seen Denalis. I've seen tinted windows in the front, tinted windows all the way around, no tint all the way around, some windows tinted, some windows not. It runs the gamut. It depends on the owner of the vehicle on whether or not you want to tint your windows.
Have you done any research in reference to like Car Guru or CarMax, Google concerning 2007 Denalis, what they
I
look
have.
like? Fairly similar to this one.
Similar, yes.
They all have Denali on the side like this Denali has, correct?
They do.
Now, moving forward, please stop me when we come to the capture, I think was the word used in reference to the license plate.
So if you play this clip,
Okay,
stop.
right there.
Yes.
All right. Oh,
That's on cornflower. That's another angle. where you do not see a license plate on the rear of the vehicle.
Okay. And this is at 1042, correct?
Yes, sir.
This is some distance from the Telus home, correct?
It's about a block.
Now let's hit that. About a block from the Telus home?
Let's hit
Oh, I'm
that.
sorry.
Okay.
It's
Let's hit
about
that.
a block from Mr. Gehrman's residence.
Okay.
It's roughly 5.3 miles from Mr. Tejas' residence.
All right. So we've got a red Denali about an hour and 30 minutes away from the other Denali that's captured at Piggott, that's some distance away from Telus home, correct?
I believe this time is correct. You'd have to go to the slide before for me to confirm that. It is,
Okay. So again, about an hour and a half.
correct.
We've got a 5.3 mile stretch. And you'll agree with me that we don't have continuous coverage, do we? We have 20 spots, give or take, over a 5.3 mile area. Fair to say?
That's correct. Again, some houses had video, some didn't. Some captured the vehicle, some didn't. Some weren't recording, some were.
I mean, let's just say it. They did a 500% better job than MSP and Canton PD did looking for video footage of anything having to do with the Officer John O'Keefe murder in Canton. And since we're talking about Altoids, I save the containers for my son for his guitar picks because when he's on stage, he likes to have his guitar picks in an Altoid container. I also use them for Q-tips for travel. Put them in my, go bag for Q-tips. If you have any other great uses for Altoid containers, put them in the chat. That's what we do here. We help each other. Yes, Nick Offerman, the detective's voice, says Bobby
And it's your
mnemonic.
testimony that this captures at 1042, correct? Give or take, assuming it's accurate.
Yes, sir.
And I'll go forward now to 1405 Winter Green.
So I believe that one also shows that there was no plate on the back of the vehicle.
Okay, and this is 17 minutes after the last one?
Yes, correct.
And this is all in the area of Mr. Gehrman's home, correct?
This is on Wintergreen, about 30 feet north of Bronze Circle where Mr. Gehrman lived.
So we've got all this time that's transpired, correct?
Minutes.
Well, if we go from 1042 to 1101, I mean, we've got some time. Almost 20 minutes.
That's also the suspect out walking around the area.
Oh, and he
We've
was
got 20
staking
minutes
it
to
out.
go by, correct?
Sure.
Quarters. Kristen, quarters for meter money. That's a great idea. Quarters in the car instead of collecting them in your cup holder.
Fair to say that this video window that we've been looking at begins at about 9:10, correct? Concerning the Denali. I won't say it's Mr. Tellis' Denali, but a Denali, correct?
That's correct.
And one of the latter slides that we look at, it's about 11:50, isn't it?
Approximately, yes,
That's a fair amount of time, correct?
it is.
Turning your attention to a Denali, a red Denali. Did you receive information that there was about 67 red Denalis in the Vegas area?
There's actually more than that. We had an initial listing, I believe, over 100. Of that 100, one of the Denalis listed on there was registered at Mr. Tejas' residence to his wife, Mary. We further narrowed that list down to red Yukons. The first list was 07 to 14 Yukons. The next list that we narrowed down was 07 to 2014 red Yukons. Again, Mr. Tejas' wife, Mary, at his address was listed on that list. We narrowed it down even further then to red Denali's. And again, Mr. Tejas' wife, Mary, at his address was listed as an owner of that vehicle. We even searched advanced license plate readers, and Mr. Tejas' vehicle was photographed by an advanced license plate reader vehicle at his residence, bearing a license plate, a Nevada commemorative plate. I believe it was 944 Adam.
Okay, and when was this?
I don't know what the exact date was, but I could get it.
Okay, so you don't have it today. I mean, I appreciate you laying out for us the steps of this investigation, but when was this capture done? When was this? Please tell us.
If I could get it for you.
Okay.
Give him the report to refresh his recollection. Come on, what's the problem?
I believe everybody has the license plate reader information.
We don't know when, the origin. I mean, as you sit here today, and trust me, it's not a test, but I mean, you don't have it with you.
I do have it with me. I just don't know that my computer is going to work in here.
Okay, fair enough.
You can't
Fair to
trip
say,
this
though,
guy up.
there's more than one Denali, and we're talking about a 5.3 mile area that you were focusing on, correct?
There is more than one Denali in the Clark County Valley.
At no point in time, and you'd agree with me that it's your theory, but at no point in time do we have any capture of a red Denali parked and there's a license plate being either removed or put upon it, correct?
There's not.
Anthony, we got a split screen. What more can we do? I don't know. Maybe they could split the screen 3 ways.
Most
It would
of
be
the
good.
Captures that we have of this red Denali, you don't really see a plate one way or the other, do you?
No, that's not correct.
Okay,
You don't see the plate as it's traveling around Mr. Gurman's neighborhood. Once it goes down Washington, you can tell that there is something on the back of the vehicle that was not there before.
and you
Oh,
could direct our attention to which slide specifically you're referring to.
Yes, if you can pull up the one that's on Washington.
Okay, so it's forward from this, looking at the time.
Correct.
so he took the license plate off to go around the Gehrman's neighborhood and then put it back on as he was going back into his own neighborhood. Is that what he's laying down here? Are we picking up what he's laying down? Allegedly, because innocent until proven guilty, as always, boss baby.
It's near the end.
The one that's taken from the gas station.
No,
Okay,
the one that's taken from the backyard of a residence that backs up to Washington. And then also from the Winco Foods on Washington.
okay. Please tell me when I should stop.
I love you guys so much.
Right there.
Keep me laughing.
So where the red box was, if you look, you can see white and darker. And I believe that is the commemorative license plate that was on the back of the vehicle.
But that's as good as we get. You're saying that that's the one that belongs to the Telus residence, but that's it. You're drawing this conclusion based upon this image.
Oh, no. I was present for the execution of a search warrant at Mr. Tejas' residence, where several items of evidence were recovered that absolutely confirmed my belief that Mr. Tejas' vehicle was the one used in the commission of Jeffrey Gurman's murder.
And we understand that. We understand that.
You better want the answer that you ask a question about, counselor. Oh, counselor. The cut up hat, the cut up sneaker, the duffel bag, all that was in his house. So we're pretty sure. Yeah, we're pretty sure. Boom, boom, boom. Tick, tick, boom. That it was his car that was used in the commission of this murder. But let's rewind that because that has been so far the testimony of the day. Back to the question, and we'll listen to the answer. And that's what we do here. We commentate in real time as well as make each other laugh. So here we go.
Belongs to the Telus residence, but that's it. You're drawing this conclusion based upon this image.
Oh, no. I was present for the execution of a search warrant at Mr. Tejas' residence, where several items of evidence were recovered that absolutely confirmed my belief that Mr. Tejas' vehicle was the one used in the commission of Jeffrey Gurman's murder.
And we understand that, and we understand your point of view in reference to this, but concerning this vehicle, this capture at 11:35, at 11:35 Sunspot Street at 11:35 in the morning, you're basing this conclusion concerning this commemorative plate and that this is the vehicle based upon that image.
Not just that,
What
sir.
I'm saying is that when the vehicle was last photographed at 7200 Periwinkle, as it turned west onto Vegas Drive, the next video that I have, the next capture I have of the vehicle is as it travels westbound on Washington from Tenaya. And at that point, it appears to me that there's a license plate on the vehicle.
So you're saying there's a better image of the plate capture than this concerning these putting onto the plate than this what we were looking at?
There is no image of the license plate being put back on the vehicle.
But I'm asking concerning the image of the plate.
If you go to the next one, I believe from Winco Foods. And again, you can look at the back of that. Now you can clearly see that there is a white area on the rear lift gate.
And that's the commemorative plate that you've testified concerning.
The previous one is what I thought it was,
All
just
right.
based on the color scheme, what it looked like.
You see something there, and that's this commemorative plate that you're sure belongs to the Tejas vehicle.
No, in this video or in this clip, all I'm saying is now it appears that there is a license plate on the vehicle.
And in reference to the license plate that you're testifying is on this vehicle, can't tell what kind of plate it is.
You cannot.
Thank you. No
I
further
know.
questions.
I mean, he's trying with the best with what he has, but you're right. You're right. I think now, Brigitte, Boss Baby is wishing he continued to represent himself because he's angry. Look at him. Boss Baby getting mad. Robbie's getting upset. Robbie's getting upset. As you know, or maybe not. That's a Seinfeld episode. George is getting upset. There was that other guy who referred to himself in the third person.
Based on that example, we have no further.
Okay. Thank you very much for your testimony here today. You step down and let's do first subpoena. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. She was giving me Cyndi Lauper vibes until somebody wrote me an email, and I'm going to give the person credit, who said, Megan Mullally. Megan Mullally's voice is coming out of this judge who played, did she play Karen in Will and Grace? Was that her character's name from Will and Grace? Megan Mullally? Think about it. I can't unhear it now.
Sure.
Mr. Villier?
Can the witness still leave?
Oh, yes.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Boss Baby needs his binky, Jessica. Okay, we're going to FF a little. We are getting so spoiled today. We have a split screen on the Law and Crime feed. We've got, we can see who's in the gallery. I see Matt from Court TV. I believe this blonde woman is a local Las Vegas reporter. Yesterday, Lauren from Hidden True Crime was also there. I don't see her yet today. Hello to Ireland, Andrea
Until 1
Collins.
o'clock. And so during this recess, you're admonished not to discuss or communicate with anyone, including your fellow jurors, in any way regarding the case or its merits, either by voice, phone, email, text, internet, other means of communication, or social media. Read, watch, or listen to any news or media accounts or commentary about the case. Do research, consult dictionaries, the internet, or reference materials. Do any investigation, test a theory, recreate any aspect of the case, or in any other way investigate or learn about the case on your own, or form or express any opinion regarding the case until it's finally submitted to you. Thank you. You go with the officer of the court, and we will be in recess.
Thank you. All right, next be heard, please.
Megan Mullally's character voice from Will and Grace, right? And also, she's married to Nick Offerman, Bella Bradford. You, and that's what reminded me of it when someone said Nick Offerman. I'm like, oh, that's right. I was going to tell you guys that I can't unhear Megan Mullally. Okay, we're getting to see the exit sign and the seal at the same time. Ooh, exciting times. No fan in this trial. I do kind of miss the fan, even though it did make us nauseous, and I made an entire emoji in honor of the fan from the Karen Reed trial. Court is on break until what? 1 p.m. Pacific? What? It's 4 p.m. New York? What? Come on, really? We've only been at this for an hour. We're in it for the long haul, peeps. And that's what they're saying. All right, we'll have to talk about something else for a little while, and then we'll come back for an afternoon stream. Jennifer Ellis, thank you for your super sticker. And thank you so much, Fab Mnemonic, for telling us that the detective's voice reminds us of Nick Offerman. Steve, I don't know who didn't answer you, but a Boss Baby is a cartoon character that the voice was played by Alec Baldwin. So that's interesting. Is it not? This was funny. Robbie Rope's defense appears to be reaching for straw hats or grasping for straw hats, I think, right? So, there's that. What do you guys think so far? Are you liking this trial? Are we loving it here? Yep, she played Karen. Can we talk about Ashley Benefield? Can we talk about Microdot's amazing video? What's going on with Ashley Benefield? Nope, Cyndi Lauper all the way. Cyndi Lauper all the way. All right, hold on a second. Give me a moment. Rosa. Thank you, Rosa. How many pages is this? Okay, that one's 8 pages. There's a motion to interview the jurors. Let me just see what else. And a motion to disqualify Judge White, filed by Ashley Benefield's attorneys. Interesting. Susan Lawrence, yeah, that is wacky. Here's what we're gonna do. We have, what time is it now? 2:40. We've got about an hour. This is what we're gonna do. And we're gonna start a new stream for Ashley Benefield. Then we're gonna come back to the morning. So hang on, because I gotta make it a separate subject. Otherwise, it's gonna be like a whole thing. So we're gonna do that. Hold tight, my friends. Just hold tight. All right. When I stop this stream, we're going to come back and we're going to do more Robert Tellis at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to end this stream. It's going to teleport you over to the new stream that I just created for the Ashley Benefield motions. We're going to do that on a different show. And then we're going to come back at 4 p.m. Eastern back to Telly's. All right, everyone? Thanks, mods. This was pretty cool. So be cool, be kind, be classy. Safe travels. And I'm going to see you over there in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit the like button on your way out and then on your way in, please. Thank you.